As we navigated our way into Palisades Tahoe on a Bluebird day, we couldn't help but recall the Palisades Tahoe website descriptions of their legendary lifts. Inspired by a promise of adventure, we embarked on a challenge, experience each of these legendary lifts, and explore the diverse terrain they provide access to. This undertaking would lead us to every corner of the resort and take us on a range of terrain, from intermediate blue cruises all the way through to expert bowls and challenging steeps. Our first stop was the revamped Red Dog chairlift, which had recently received a much needed upgrade this season. The old triple chair had faithfully transported riders high above the resort since 1989, but after 3 decades of service, it was time for a renewal. The new detachable 6-person lift offers an exceptionally smooth ride, whisking us to the mountain summit in just 5 minutes. To our surprise, the journey back to the base involved navigating a series of intermediate cat tracks. Nevertheless, this provided an excellent opportunity to warm up and get in some turns on the freshly groomed Red Dog face, guiding us towards our next destination, the renowned KT22 Express. Quite possibly the most renowned chairlift in North America, the KT22 lift elevates riders to a staggering 1,800 feet above the village area, granting access to some of the resort's most challenging terrain. With endless options to get back to the base, we decided to head directly to the KT22 Bowl. On the day of our visit in mid-Feb, the KT22 Bowl still held some untouched snow from the light top-up from the previous evening. We now needed to get to the upper regions of the resort, and the most effective way to get there is by boarding the aerial tram. This iconic tram, which became accessible to the public in 1968, has the capacity to accommodate 85 passengers along with their ski gear. Fortunately, when we arrived at the tram, not a queue in sight, and the cabin was approximately half full. The vistas from the aerial tram are undeniably awe-inspiring, instilling a real appreciation for the natural beauty that is the entire Lake Tahoe region. Upon reaching high camp at the summit, it's imperative that you head out to the balcony and fully take in the breathtaking scenery, which on a clear day allows for glimpses of Lake Tahoe off in the distance. Continuing our intrepid journey, we ventured into the most remote sector of the resort in pursuit of the elusive Silverado chair. In this secluded zone, access was limited to advanced and expert trails only, leading down to the lift space, and it's only opened when Mother Nature provides enough natural snowfall. Fortunately for us, this was not an issue during the 22-23 winter season. As we descended through the remote area packed full of steep terrain, pockets of fresh snow, and the occasional sightings of the aerial tram passing overhead, we eventually navigated our way to the base of the double chairlift, nestled deep in the far reaches of the resort. The Silverado double chair has been in operation since 1992, offering a leisurely, unhurried ride that served as the perfect opportunity to rest your legs while meticulously assessing the terrain and plotting your next technical run. Next up, we were off to find another legendary lift that goes by the name Granite Chief. A quick run down a perfectly groomed trail led us to the base of the triple chair that ascends high up towards the Granite Chief Peak, which is the highest point within the resort at just over 9,000 feet. If you want to reach it, you're going to need a hike, and it's quite the journey. Once at the summit of the lift, you can go left and take on the advanced groom trails, or go right and take on the high alpine bowls, which led down to technical trees. We opted for the latter, and it was off to find some fresh tracks in Hidden Bowl. The backside of the resort ticked off. There was only 2 legends left to conquer, and both of them are massive six-packs that service the high alpine on the front side of the resort. A quick ride down past the Gold Coast allowed for us to be back on intermediate cruises, something we thoroughly enjoy and hadn't seen for most of the morning. As we turned the corner, the next challenge came into view, and we could see the chairs of the Headwall Express lifting riders high into this unexplored zone. It was time to find the base of that lift and continue this adventure. The Headwall Express is a detachable 6-person lift that opened in 1999 and proudly holds the title of the longest vertical served by any single lift at the resort. The runs you can access from the Headwall Express are no joke, and the moguls of the Headwall face feel as though they extend above your knees. It's now the early afternoon, And we've saved the best for last. The Siberia Express, which rises to the prominent zone at Palisades Tahoe, and is the namesake for the resort. The Palisades Peak is the most dominant feature at the resort, and getting up there requires a ride on the Siberia Express. Opening in 2015, this detachable 6-person chair is quick, smooth, and might just be the best chairlift to ride on a bluebird day. The views are simply breathtaking. Once you reach the summit of the lift, there are plenty of trail options, but we decided to head out and try our luck with the Siberia Bowl. The imposing rock face above us casts a huge shadow over the whole area, and we simply do not know how riders actively climb up there and jump down these chutes. After a few nice turns in the bowl, it was time to head all the way back to the base of the resort. This leg-burning run, made up of wide open cruises, has to be a few miles long. However, this is a walk in the park compared to taking on and conquering all of the legendary lifts at Palisades Tahoe.